Welcome to Trump Breaking News Network, your daily source for up-to-date news on the political scene of Donald Trump, his presidency, American politics and conspiracies. Please subscribe to receive notice of our daily updates. Also share with your friends and your social media. We encourage you to like our videos and give your comments.
This is TBNN.
Trump admin may cut UN aid for Palestinians by over 50%. The Trump administration is weighing a hefty cut to U.S. aid to the United Nations Agency for Palestinian Refugees, possibly slashing the first installment of 2018 by more than half. President Donald Trump hasn't yet signed off on a final amount, but he is leaning towards sending just $60 million of the planned $125 million to the UN Relief and Works Agency, the Associated Press reported, citing U.S. officials. The White House is also considering attaching conditions to future U.S. contributions, such as requiring Palestinians to revive negotiations with Israel before receiving more money. The Department of State said over the weekend that funding levels are still under review. A decision on the matter could come as early as Tuesday, according to the AP. Trump had previously threatened to withhold U.S. funds to Palestinians in order to force them to restart moribund peace talks. Earlier this month, he publicly questioned the wisdom of sending more money to Palestinians, who he said don't even want to negotiate a peace settlement in the wake of his decision to recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. "We have taken Jerusalem, the toughest part of the negotiation, off the table, but Israel, for that, would have had to pay more," the president tweeted. "But with the Palestinians no longer willing to talk peace, why should we make any of these massive future payments to them?" U.S. Ambassador to the UN Nikki Haley has also taken a hardline on funding, suggesting the U.S. would reduce its contributions to both the Palestinian Authority and the UNRWA, which administers humanitarian services to Palestinian refugees. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson and Secretary of Defense James Mattis are reportedly backing the plan to withhold some money, having offered it as an alternative to more drastic cuts favored by Haley, according to the AP. The secretaries have argued that cutting all assistance to UNRWA could exacerbate instability in the Middle East, particularly within strategic partners like Jordan. Washington is currently the largest contributor to UNRWA by a wide margin, providing $368 million of the agency's $1.2 billion budget in 2016. The U.S. was set to contribute a similar amount this year, but the State Department put the payments under review following Trump and Haley's criticism. Palestinian refugees are given aid through UNRWA, which is a separate organization from the UN High Commissioner for Refugees. UNRWA uses a much broader definition of refugee than the UN High Commissioner, applying refugee status to a person whose normal place of residence was Palestine during the period June 1, 1946 to May 15, 1948. And who lost both home and means of livelihood as a result of the 1948 conflict, and also to such a person's descendants. Since UNRWA does not cap the number of generations eligible for designation as refugees, the original Palestinian refugees can pass on that status to their descendants indefinitely.
This has been the Trump Breaking News Network. Please subscribe and share to stay up to date on the latest news about our president. Be informed.